It's the Steve Allen Show, presenting the Three Stooges, Connie Russell, Lenny Bruce, David Allen, Louis Nye, Tom Poston, Don Knotts, Ditch Henderson of the orchestra, and yours truly, Gene Rayburn. Tonight's program is brought to you by DuPont, makers of nylon, Orlon, and Dacron. Better living fibers that give you so much more. And now here he is, Steve Allen.
The question before the House tonight is, will the audience who tuned in to see the Three Stooges know what Lenny Bruce is talking about? Or vice versa? And on the basis of that reaction, I'd say no, not a chance. Under no circumstances. One of them is in big trouble, one of those two groups. I don't know who it is. My veracity has been questioned. Yes, it has. Yes, I'll bring it out here. Veracity? No, seriously. Last week, I told you who was watching the show. She was expecting a baby anyway, fortunately. And she laughed so hard at one of our sketches, at something Don Knotts did in particular, that they rushed her to the hospital, and she had the baby right then in a fit of laughing. The kid was laughing and everything was laughing. And a lot of people thought, what a silly joke. What kind of a joke is that? It wasn't a joke. It was a true story. And to prove it to those of you who wrote in saying, what kind of a crazy joke was that? The lady herself, her name is Mrs. Florence Underwood. She was watching the show last night, too, and last week, rather, and she sent us a picture of the baby. Thank you. That's Baby John. Baby John Underwood. Now, thank you very much. You may be wondering what I'm doing with these things. A great many music critics and performers feel that Caravan is one of Duke Ellington's finest compositions. A host of singers have included it in their repertoires, but you've probably never heard it done in more exciting fashion than you will right now as Connie Russell sings Caravan. Here she is. Connie Russell.
Above that shine so bright, the mystery of their fading light that shine upon our caravan. Sleep upon my shoulder as we creep across the sand so I may keep the memory of our caravan. Oh, this is so exciting, and you are so inviting, resting in my arms while I thrill to the magic charms of you. Beside me here beneath the blue, my dream of love is coming true within our desert caravan. within our desert caravan. Yes, this is so exciting, and you are so inviting, resting in my arms while I thrill the magic charm of you. Beside me here beneath the blue, my dream of love is coming true within our desert caravan. Within our desert
Hey, that feels good. Let me hear that right in here in the small of the back. Give it to me again. Oh, that's good. Oh, yeah. That takes you right up there. In a few moments, friends, we'll be back with our regulars. Now, watch it, Dot. Watch it. With our regulars plus singing star David Allen and a sensational new comic I mentioned earlier, Lenny Bruce, who I think is going to be in big trouble. But first, I have a question to ask. Here he goes. Question. Oh, yes, this is me asking the question. Which would you say is stronger? I thought it was a film cue. I'm all right. Cobwebs or steel? Or steel cobwebs? Well, our friend the chemist, my son the chemist here, has the answer for you. An answer that has special significance for everybody who owns an automobile and is paying any attention.
This is a spider. Oh, well, you know that. Well, when a spider leaves home, his very life hangs by a thread. But he knows he couldn't be safer, because the thread he hangs by was designed to do the job. The life of your automobile tire hangs by a thread, too. The fiber that goes into the tire's cord. And when it's made of nylon yarn, you've got the safest, strongest tire your money can buy. Pound for pound, nylon is actually stronger than steel. How about that?
Tire cord of DuPont nylon gives tires lasting protection against the three major causes of blowouts: bruise damage, moisture damage, and damage from overheating. Yet nylon tires cost so little more than tires made with ordinary fibers. Well, that priceless extra margin of safety for you and your whole family.
Look for the fiber first. Look for this name on the tire sidewall: nylon.
That's a very good suggestion. Say, all you Steve Allen fans will be happy to know the third installment of Steve's autobiography in Look magazine is available to you this week at your nearest newsstand, stationery store, butcher shop, or wherever you buy your magazines. Steve devotes most of this article to his lovely wife, Jane Meadows. That's the cover to look for. Sweet. The whole thing is sweet. Now, this evening, we present a department dedicated to the search for the unadulterated truth. You will learn the undisclosed facts behind the nation's headlines and the views and attitudes of personalities famous and infamous. Probe. Tonight investigating the American millionaire.
Yes, tonight Probe makes its inquiry into the background of three types of American millionaires: the playboy millionaire, the self-made millionaire, and the celebrity millionaire. First, let's look at the playboy. We take you to the penthouse apartment of that very wealthy and many times married man about town. Yes, it's Harrington Harback II. Good evening. Good evening, Harrington.
Oh, hello, Steve.
Oh, say, am I interrupting something?
No, I'm just writing a check for a new Lincoln I bought.
Oh, you bought a new car.
No, a tunnel.
I see. Harrington, you are one of the world's richest men. How was your vast fortune accumulated?
Steve, I'd say it was through hard work, sacrifice, and perseverance.
And that's how you did it.
No, that's how my father did it. I inherited it.
I see. Well, how come your father left the money to you and not to your mother?
No, he did leave it to my mother.
And how did you get it?
I married her.
What?
I'm just kidding, Steve.
Yes.
Just using a little of my wit.
Yes. About half of it. But tell me, Harrington, you've been married 12 times, is that correct?
12, 13, who counts?
Yes. Well, aside from, we won't count that one anyway. Aside from being famous for your many marriages, You're also well known for backing many big shows.
That's right, Steve.
What is the biggest production you've ever backed?
World War II. It ran 4 years.
Oh, stop with the jokes now.
They're thinking of bringing it back.
That's enough of that. That's enough now.
Listen, Steve, I have to run now.
Oh?
I have to get dressed. I'm getting married tonight, you know.
Oh, really? No, I didn't. To whom?
I don't know. I meet so many girls.
Where are you going?
I'm going home, Steve. I live across the street.
Hey, be careful. Wait a minute. That's fantastic. How do you do that?
With money, you can do anything, Steve.
Good night, Harrington. Harback the second. Next, Probe investigates a self-made millionaire, Nick Holliday. A man who was born in poverty is now a multimillionaire. He controls such widespread interests that no one really knows where his control ends. We'll visit him now in his offices atop the Holliday Enterprises building in Paterson, New Jersey. Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Holliday.
Good evening, pal.
Mr. Holliday, you have...
My friends call me Nicky.
Oh, all right, Nicky. Nicky, you've been accused of being a top-level racketeer.
You better call me Mr. Holliday.
All right. Mr. Holliday, it's been said that through illegal dealings, you control certain labor unions, dress firms, and prize fighters. You surround yourself with thugs and hoodlums. Is this true?
That is perfectly ridiculous. I'm a legitimate businessman. The only people I got working for me are a secretary and a stenographer. The normal complement of office workers.
Listen, I'll tell you something. I don't believe they're office workers.
You will when they come to your office and work you over. Once and for all, I would like it to be understood that I'm an ordinary, honest citizen. I'm respectably married, and I have 3 fine boys. Right here, if I may have the opportunity, I will show you my boys.
All right.
This one here that I'm about to show is my eldest, Everett. He's a dentist. And a very successful one, too. He did a great job, marvelous job on my mouth. Mm-hmm. And he'll do a good job on your teeth, too, if you drop in to see him. And you better. Then that's enough for Everett. Now, here's my youngest boy here.
Uh-huh.
He's a delightful child. A young boy is coming along fine. His name is Bruce. He's up at school now. He's studying arts and crafts. Extremely sensitive youth. And I think he's going to be a decorator. He's marvelous with the hands.
Yes.
Marvelous. And not last but not the least, is my wonderful boy that I get such a thrill out. This is my pride and joy. Rocky, he's a pugilist.
I see. Mr. Holliday,
what was that?
What is his record?
Well, Steve, this year he's going to win 9 and lose 1.
Well, in any event, it's easy to see they're your sons. They all look very much like you.
Oh, do you think so, really and truly?
Mm-hmm.
Most people feel that they look like their mother. I have her over here, too. Yeah, there she is. This is her. She's a wonderful person. I adore her.
Where is she?
She's very much interested in herbs and things like that.
Uh-huh.
She's in Portugal.
Good. Well, you certainly have a nice family, Mr. Holliday. Tell me, you're partners. Can you hear me, sir?
No, I didn't at that particular moment. Yes?
You're partners in all of your dealings with a Mr. Barney Sultan, is that right?
Well, I would like to say I was partners with Barney Sultan. He passed away Monday.
Oh, wait a minute. Barney Sultan isn't dead. He's still alive.
Oh, yeah? Oh, it ain't Monday yet.
You own the Holiday Protection Association. May I ask what is the function of that organization?
We sell protection.
To whom?
United States Army.
You protect the United States Army?
That's right. Nobody lays a hand on them while I'm around.
Well, thank you, Nick. It's been nice talking to you.
Now, wait a minute. What are you rushing for?
Well, that's all the time we have.
Ah, come on. You want more time? I'll get it for you.
No, just a moment. Only NBC could do that.
So I'll get you NBC. I like you, kid. I like your style. I like your manner.
thanks.
I like the way you laugh. I like everything about you. You want Connecticut? You want a place to live? Connecticut for you.
No, listen, all I want, sir, right now is to finish with this interview.
Oh, why didn't you tell me, you silly boy?
Mr. Holliday. Mr. Holliday, you shouldn't have.
It's all right. Anything for a pie.
All right, thank you. Now, Probe invites you to meet the celebrity millionaire by taking you to the Hollywood Hilltop home of one of the country's biggest stars, Mr. Frankie Success. Well, good evening, Frankie.
Hi, Dad. Make yourself at home, buddy.
Yes, nice place you have there.
Oh, thanks. Say, where's all the broads? Who said we're closed today?
Yeah. Listen, Frank, I understand you live alone in this house except for your houseboy. Is that right?
Yeah, man, I couldn't get along without him. Cleans my house, tends my bar, cooks my meals. Man, he's a real gasser.
I see. And how is his cooking?
It's also a gasser.
Tell me, don't you belong to a social clique that's very difficult to get into, the unorthodox nonconformist group in Hollywood?
No, Steve, that's just publicity. Actually, we're just a sort of a quiet, normal people.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Pete? Right you are, old boy. Crazy, man.
Yes, we must have been to try it. But tell me, just how do you people in your rat pack there, how do you spend a typical evening?
Well, like tonight, you know, a little later on, a few of the gang will drop in. We'll talk, dance, have a few drinks.
Listen, Frank, incidentally, I want to ask you sort of off the record. Does Dean Martin really drink as much as everybody says?
Oh, no.
I see.
Much more. I drink tea myself.
Yes, good. Well, Frank, while you're having a cup there, I want to ask you, is it true that you're the leader of this fast-living, hard-drinking, sports car driving, nonconformist group of people?
Well, no, I'm only temporarily in charge until the real leader gets back.
Oh, and who is that?
Albert Schweitzer.
Your help.
Yeah. Well, listen, Steve, it's been nice talking with you, but you'll have to excuse me. The gang's coming over, and I want to make sure everything's set, you know?
Go right ahead, Frank.
Okay. You got plenty of cigarettes,
Yeah.
plenty of booze,
Mm-hmm.
plenty of records,
Crazy.
plenty of chicks.
Yeah. Well, good night, Frank, and lots of luck.
Good night.
Thank you very much, Don. And right here, ladies and gentlemen, before the Three Stooges come out, we have a surprise guest. It's the champion of television himself. That's right, RCA Victor. Yes, RCA Victor is the TV champ again this year, and there are 10 million reasons why, coming up right now. Several months ago, we introduced a young singer named David Allen, no relation. He has one of the pleasantest voices I've ever heard. He sings with no gimmicks, no tricks, just sheer beauty of sound. He's such an excellent vocalist, in fact, that there seems small probability that his recordings will be hits, except with the more discerning listeners. And here once again is David Allen to sing this time Cole Porter's unforgettable Get Out of Town.
Get out of town before it's too late, my love. Get out of town be good to me, please. Why wish me harm? Why not retire to a farm and be contented to charm the birds off the tree? Just disappear. I care for you much too much. And when you are near, so close to me, dear, we touch too much. The thrill when we meet is so bittersweet that, darling, it's getting me down. So on your mark, get set, get out of The thrill when we meet is so bittersweet that, darling, it's getting me down. So on your mark, get set, get out of town. Get out of town. Get out of town.
David Allen is a young man's name, and you'll certainly be hearing a lot more of it. Well, sir, as promised, Lenny Bruce and the Three Stooges are just about ready and waiting to come your way after we pause for Stazione Identificazione.
Hollywood's greatest stars on the Academy Awards presentations Monday.
We get a great deal of mail from our viewers commenting on our sketches, indicating their likes and dislikes, and whether you realize it or not, there is just about no joke or sketch, particularly of a satirical sort, that will not offend somebody, you know, a cowboy or a drunk or somebody. I don't want to equate those two already. I can see the cards are coming in. I'll tell you how we are going to face the problem. We have decided that once a month, we will book a comedian who will offend everybody. Fair enough? All right, and then we'll get it all over with, you see? A man who will disturb a great many social groups watching right now. Because, I'm serious, his satirical comments refer to many things not ordinarily discussed on television, and it serves you right. Now, that way, the NBC mail department will know in advance, right, that the complaints are coming in, they hire 3 or 4 extra girls, they get the stamped answers ready, we're very sorry, we didn't mean, you know, that sort of thing. And then the whole thing is handled with neatness and dispatch. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is a very shocking comedian, the most shocking comedian of our time, a young man who is skyrocketing to fame, Lenny Bruce. Here he is.
Will Elizabeth Taylor become bar mitzvahed? No, I promise continuity. I'll behave myself. I'll do all the lines that we rehearsed, you know. That's the thing, you know. I have a reputation for being sort of controversial and irreverent and also the semantic bear trap of bad taste. And actually I do have, and I will always be accused of bad taste by the people who eat in restaurants to reserve service, you know, that kind of scene to anyone, yeah. But you might be interested in how I became offensive. Like, started in school with drinking and I was like a real depressed kid, you know, and 7 or 8 years old, and I really get juiced and get out of my And so the teacher would really get bugged, you know, with me singing and carrying on and calling Columbus a fink and boosting Aaron Burr and all that. And then smoking. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see that from here? I've got like this tattoo here. I'll fix it. Oh, can you see it? I smoked Marlboros and I was 6 years old and it grew up. Offend, there's a funny kind of thing. It's, there's semantics. There are words that offend me. Let's see, Governor Farbus, segregation offend me. Nighttime television offends me. Some nighttime television. The shows that exploit homosexuality, narcotics, and prostitution under the guise of helping the societal problem. Except like for a few shows. There's one guy on the coast who's got like a nutty sense of humor, you know. His name is Paul Coates, and he found out, there were kids that 8 and 9 years old that were sniffing airplane glue to get high on, you know, and so I had sort of a fantasy how it happened. The kid is alone in his room, and it's Saturday. The child is played by George McCready. Well, let's see now. I'm all alone in the room, and it's Saturday. Mother's away, and what'll I do that's good and hostile? Well, let's see. I'll make an airplane. That's good. I'll make a Lancaster. Good structural design. I'll get the ball to it. I'll sand it here. I'll cut that off. I'll get the struts now. Now I'll get a little airplane glue. I'll rub it on the rag and, Hey, now, it's a nutty plane here. I'm getting loaded. Is this possible, loaded on airplane glue? Maybe it's just stuffy in here. I'll call my dog over. Flicker. Flicker, come here, darling, and smell this rat. Smell it, you freaky little doggy. Smell that rat, Flicker. Flicker. Flicker! It worked. I'm the Louis Pasteur of junkiedom. I'm out of my skull for tinner. Well, there's much work to be done now. Horses' hooves to melt down, noses to get ready. Cut to the toy store. Any toy store, any hobby shop. Might be your kid who walked in that day. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Hello, Mrs. Schindler. Nice store you got here. Give me a nickel's worth of pencils and a big boy tablet and some erasers and 2,000 tubes of airplane glue. That's it. Let's see, offend. What else offends me? Some motion pictures. Now, the motion pictures, that's the thing that I don't like, you know. Exploitation for just the sake of exploiting. Motion pictures that exploit race relations without ever saying anything. I don't feel Hollywood has ever, maybe with the exception of Home of the Brave, really touched on a good picture that came out and said some issues that were important, you know. Typical brotherhood film. Hey, Skitch, like, lay some Spanish music on me, like anything. That's weird. Miguel, 3 years old. It's the hour of truth. They're taking the bull away, the bull he raised, the bull he loves. We hear Miguel talking to his father. Why are you going to take the bull away? I love him. Not my bull, not your bull. Sometimes you stick the bandolero on him and kill my new era. Todo el mundo telefónica en España. That's my bull. Boy, I don't like you. I told you, I'm not your son. Don't call me your son. Because you kill my bull. My son, if you don't understand. No, how can I understand that you kill him? That's all I know. Miguel, if you don't see, I can explain to you. If you say to kill this bull will mean $3,000, your American money. Kill him. He grows. The man, 19 years old, and here's where the typical Hollywood brotherhood pitch starts to seep in. The sister talks to him over the shoulder. Juan, you're making a mistake, hanging around with the wrong gang. Why, Dr. Mendoza, the shop teacher, said you're making wonderful earrings out of that espresso machine. Juan, why don't you listen before it's too late? Juan, over the shoulder into the mirror. Don't bother me. What do you know? Esta quinela, esta caliente recha que esta Tijuana. Don't bother me. Give me the rubber band for my ponytail. That's all. Now we dissolve to the exterior of the schoolyard. And there's all the Anglo-Saxon types, you know, they're bright and shiny with their switchblade tongues. And there's one like he's with a ripped Madras blazer, you know. And the big pitch comes in. Listen to me. Come on, you guys. When I hear something I learned in school what I can't forget, you know what I learned in the school? Put in my mind the high school principle. Something I can't forget. You know what I can't forget? I forgot. No, I don't forget. Only in this country you can copy my friend. I'm an Spanish guy, okay? I'm Spanish. Phil is a color guy, okay? Sal is a Jewish guy. There's a Japanese guy, a French guy. My friend in this country, we all have to stick together and beat up the Greeks. There is another side to my nature, right? The aesthetic side, you know. Clyde Beatty. And, I'm going to, did you dig that? Yes. I'm so happy. I'm going to write a musical with Steve Allen. And it's sort of a nice kind of thing. And it's about a couple. And if you've been married, you know, or are now, you know the scene that happened. You have a million beefs with your old lady, you know, and you break up and you go back together again. But this couple in the play, they're a little eccentric, and they've gone back, you know, and broken up about 55 times in 7 years. But they keep going back for the kid's sake. So finally, they go to a marriage counselor. It opens up, and they're together, and they're happy, without one argument. But the kids are complete nuts. Because they were so adjusted to that scene, you know, of breaking up and going back together that it's been too much for them. So they decide, for the kid's sake, to break up. And in the scene, Steve, like, you know, he's my friend, we're hanging out together, and he's got the first line.
All right. Hey, Lenny, where's your old lady?
Oh, we had a beef, man. We broke up.
Oh, it's too bad. Don't worry, you'll get back together.
No, that's it, you know. You have a million fights, and finally you decide that's the one. You've had it, you know, and I finally got the guts, and I got rid of her. I don't believe it, man, but I finally did it. I finally got rid of her.
How'd you do that?
She left me. But it's better off, man. You're better off alone. I'm really going to swing. I'm going to fix up my own pad. That's it. I can really fix up a pad, you know. I'm going to really get some of that shiny black furniture, and I'll get a bullfight poster, and I'll get a coffee table and make a door out of it. And I'll just really swing, and it'll just be nice, and I'll get a satin smoking jacket and a pearl white phone, and I'll sit back and relax, and finally I'll be all alone, man. That's the best way to make it, all alone. All alone. All alone. All alone. Oh, a joy to be all alone. I'm happy alone, don't you see? I've convinced you. I don't know, I get so dramatic about it. You're better off alone, man. That's it, I'm gonna get a whole bunch of new suits. You know, I've had the same dumb suit for 10 years. You walk in her closet, you can't even breathe. That's it, I'll get a whole bunch of suits. I'll get a chick that likes to hang out, man. I'll have the vodka parties. That's modern. Vodka parties, swing it up, ball it up. I'll get a chick who likes to drink. Boy, my wife sure used to look good standing up against the sink. She's the lowest, though. I really put her down. No, I really miss her. I don't want some sharp chick that can quote Kerouac and walk with poise. I just want to hear my old lady say, "Get up and fix the sink. It's still making noise." All alone. All alone. Like a near-sighted dog wears the bone. Ah, but it's better to be all alone. No more taking out the garbage, hear her yakking on the phone. I gave her everything, even my mother's ring. But to me, she was so petty. Sometimes I wish that she were dead. But it'll probably take her 2 hours to get ready. When she's old, then she's going to be sorry. That's it. Like, she's young and swinging now, and she can get a lot of guys, but when she's old, I can see her about 20 years from now. How you doing, Annie? I haven't seen you in a long time. You look pretty good, baby. You're still washing your hair with Dutch cleanser, I see. Yeah, you look good. You gained a few pounds. What happened to your neck? I heard you got married a few times, huh? Me, no, I've always stayed single. I've been investing in property. I picked up a little place in Mexico. Maybe you've heard of it. It's called Acapulco. I don't know. Where are you living? A furnished room? That's nice. You cook on the radiator, the paper drapes, and sit in the lobby and watch television and all, you know. That's cool, yeah. Yeah, that's cool. You have the Diners Club. You sign for you go first class in those joints. I know that. Yeah, that's it. Her future spells a murky gloom. I'll be rich and famous, and she'll be living in a furnished room, but it's going to be too late. I won't hear a moan. I'll be living in my Nob Hill mansion, rich and all alone. All alone. All alone. I'll be rich, but so all alone.
You out-of-town folks who expect to be in New York City soon can hand your postcards to Lenny personally at a place called The Den. He's appearing there nightly here in New York. Three Stooges joining us in just a moment. But right now, we come to stereo hi-fi. Stereo, you know, is to listening sort of what Brigitte Bardot is to looking. You watch this, Nielsen.
If you own a good quality radio like this, you already own an important part of a stereophonic sound system. RCA Victor announces stereo orthophonic high fidelity at a price once paid for high fidelity alone. All you buy is a new Victrola with RCA Victor's unique 2-in-1 chassis. Hook up to the speaker system of any good TV or radio set you may have, and you're ready for stereo. Just put on a new stereo record and listen. Music with direction. Hear the left side of the orchestra from the left, the right side of the orchestra from the right. Living stereo high fidelity. See the superb new high fidelity Victrolas that play stereo and all your regular records too. Complete stereo systems as low as $129.95 at your RCA Victor dealers.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, here they are, the Three Stooges.
And now, NBC, in cooperation with the National Broadcasting Company, has spared no expense in bringing the next novelty to this network. With his mental agility, muscular control, and keenness of eye, this man is the sensation of two continents. Due to existing conditions, he was smuggled into this country by way of the Iranian pipelines. He speaks very little of our language, and I was asked to act as his interpreter, which I will. I take great pleasure in presenting for your approval the Starvanian refugee, the Maharaja of Ingenzomen. Sit down. The Rajah never on any occasion uses a helper, assistant, or confederate. But for this particular group of tricks, we'd like to have a perfect stranger. One who is not known.
Here I am.
Thank you very much, stranger.
Yes, sir.
And now this man has never seen us before. Have you?
No, not since the last rehearsal. You idiot. What does this Raja do?
We shall see. Raj.
Hello, Do.
Hello, Do.
President Salakadi says he asked you to ask you what did your Patayat you do? I do nothing.
Oh, boy. The Rajah says he is an expert pistol shot, marksman, and sharpshooter. That he has spent the better part of his life as chief pistol instructor in the Bulgarian Junior FBI. His pistol record, 109 shots out of a possible 300.
Yes? What will be his first trick?
We shall see. Raj.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Dream fancy roll Kitelki, please, if you will do it first trick, eh?
Ah, Razvanya Shatsibenifuts. Also, Resinas.
That Resinas, you're going to hit it?
That Resinas, I'm going to smash it.
Oh, boy. The Rajah says that at this time he will, without the aid of a telescope, shoot a raisin from the top of this gentleman's head.
Hey, wait a minute. Shoot what raisin from which gentleman's head?
Oh, pardon me for calling you a gentleman.
Oh, you made a mistake.
The raisin, California style. What's that in your hair, son?
That's a mole.
That mole's walking. The raisin.
Hello, Don. Razvanya Shatsibenifuts, Master Edison.
You no can see it?
I can no look at it.
The Rajah says that the lights in the auditorium are destroying his eyeballs, what's left of them. Take the blue light off. Take the white light off.
Take the Rajah off.
By golly, he did it.
Yeah, he shot the mole and left the raisin there. Will you please? What is... What do you think the Rajah will do next?
What do you think?
We shall see.
Stealing my line, don't you?
Bendele, Ezekiel, eh? Eski, you please do a trick. Alan no pay the check.
Razvanya Shatsibenifuts, also knives.
That knives you're going to throw them?
Them knives, I'm going to chuck them.
Oh, for whom are they mighty sakes? The Maha! Sit down!
Yeah, he made it.
The Rajah says that at this time he will toss the razor-edged daggers at random.
That's good. Get him up here. Hey, Randy, come on, that's your trick. Hey, wait a minute. You don't think I let that nearsighted owl toss knives at me, do you?
What do you mean, nearsighted owl? He can see better than you can, and I can prove it.
Well, you better prove it. This is serious.
Rajah! What is that?
$50.
Okay. I'll go. I thought it was a dime.
That was close. Very close.
Yes!
What's the matter? You nearsighted? And now with the next blade, the Rajah will come within 1/8 of an inch of the victim's brain. Now, not that anything has ever happened before, but we'd like the young man at the board to take his bow now in case. Good. Hello, else?
Fellas, you didn't rehearse it that way. You got to be careful. If you're not careful, somebody's going to get hurt around here.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We don't plan these things so I can get the knives out, you know. I often think at moments like this, what must it seem like to somebody who just tuned in? Say, Mother, come in here. I think they got to him finally. Look at that. Well, anyway, if you'll ignore this. By the way, what? How are you? What did you have in mind, by the way, right now? Anything, would you like to go into the DuPont commercial? Well, I think that's about as fair a deal as we'll hear from all night. You would never guess from the luxurious appearance and resilient feel of this that carpeting of 100% DuPont carpet nylon is luxury you can afford right now because it gives you luxury you never need to pamper. But it's absolutely true. Carpet nylon was especially developed by DuPont to be the strongest, toughest, longest-wearing carpet fiber of them all. In fact, nylon will outwear carpet of all other fibers in similar constructions at least 2 to 1. And 100% carpet nylon is superior to any other carpet fiber in its recovery from the crushing caused by heavy traffic or heavy furniture. Now here is that exact sample of carpeting that you just saw being crushed in the rugged laboratory test, and it still looks fresh and new, as you can see. So look for this label. You'll find it at your favorite store on back of glamorous new colors and textures for every room in your home, in carpeting now being featured by 28 leading manufacturers. You'll find it pays to look for the carpeting. Always look for 100% DuPont carpet nylon. Once again, here's lovely Connie Russell to sing for you one of the great songs from a new album.
You've changed, that sparkle in your eyes is gone. Your smile is just a careless yawn. You're breaking my heart. You've changed. You've changed. Your kisses now are so blasé. You're bored with life in every way. I can't understand. You've changed. It's not true when you say I love you. I've seen my dreams come and go. Now when you say I love you, it's just out of habit, I know. Don't change, you're still the one that I adore. Come cuddle in my arms once more, like you did before you changed. Don't change, you're still the one that I adore. Come cuddle in my arms once more, like you did before you changed. Don't change.
An old jazz quartet of the 1920s. You'll be hearing one like it come to life on a great new show that follows us tonight called Pete Kelly's Blues. It's the exciting story of a young band leader in the roaring 20s. Lots of action, great jazz music starring Bill Reynolds and Connie Boswell. That's Pete Kelly's Blues coming up next on most of these NBC stations.
On one of our recent shows, we followed the trend made popular by Perry Como, Arthur Murray, and of course our old Tonight Show by presenting two of Tin Pan Alley's most distinguished members, Mr. Danny Shine and Charlie Rise. Their appearance met with such response that we phoned them to see if they were able to appear on our show again tonight. Unfortunately, they were. So here they are again. Rise and shine.
Sweetheart, hello, how are you? How are you?
Let's shake hands. I meant to ask you fellas the last time, how did you get started in the songwriting business?
Well, Perry, I started out as a musician quite a few years back. I played the organ.
Is that so?
Yeah, but after a certain amount of time, I had to give the organ up.
How come?
My monkey died.
And I took the place of the monkey.
What are you trying to say like that for? That's ridiculous on the face of it.
Fellas, it must have been rough for you in those days.
Listen, it's not too easy right now, Charlie. But it was rough then, man. We couldn't even afford a piano.
Well, how did you write your melodies?
We used a second-hand typewriter with a broken W.
That's right. And that's when we wrote our first tune. It was titled, I Found a Wonderful Warm Woman.
And then we had the W fixed, and we wrote our first patriotic tune, Onward to Victory.
What was the first song you actually had performed?
Sweetheart, if you don't remember.
Of course. 1942. And the nation was hearing the first Rise and Shine published song, My Son, the Soldier, which I introduced, let me see, oh yeah, the day before I started my comeback. Yeah, okay, I'll take a chance on it anyway. I hope I don't blow Kraft. Picture? If you have a boy in the service and you want to do something nice, just send a salami to your boy in the army and let him cut off a slice. Did I just bring back Burl? We'll know next season.
That's a little song we wrote for Mrs. Sterling about 4 years ago. But believe it or not, you know, it's a funny thing. That song never sold.
Right.
Yeah, it's hard to figure to the public. As a matter of fact, things were so rough for us back in them days, there were times we went weeks without eating.
Oh, we were starving. Our minds were always on the food. So that's how come we wrote our first novelty song titled Not Wasting Beans.
Who published it?
No one. As soon as we finished it, we ate it. Don't you understand?
Yeah. We got lucky the following year, though, Per, and that's when we got our first big hit.
That's right. I was hit on a bus on Broadway and 42nd Street.
Shut up. What are you saying?
We collected 500 carbon drives.
And that was enough. That was enough money to take you to California, where your luck finally changed. You went to work in pictures.
That's right. And we've been happy ever since.
That's right.
And at that time, we wrote this haunting torch song for a Lyle Talbot musical.
Right here tonight, we have our own romantic duo, Bud Zen and Yetta Yogurt, to sing the cigarette song.
There's a million kind of cigarette filters.
And here is one that's hip.
Put a fish in your filter and have a guzzle tip.
Yeah, there's just one thing. Why did you call that a torch song?
I'll tell you why, because the publisher burned every copy.
And the public burned every publisher.
Yeah, see,
Oh, that particular one.
How many times are we going to have to warn
Now,
you?
look, wait a second. Let's talk about your show tunes, fellas.
nuts.
You wrote your first show in late 1944, right?
That's right. It opened in an off-Broadway theater.
Where?
In Paris. That's about as far off Broadway as you can get.
Yes, that's right. It was a French musicale called Nuts to the Nazis. It opened in Paris.
No, it was Nats with the Nutsies. Don't you remember?
I will affirm that. In the fall of 44, I'll never forget it.
Oh, wait a minute. 1944? That's the year the Germans were occupying Paris.
No wonder we got so very discouraging reviews.
That explains it. Yes, and we're going to get them again. But my friends...
Why couldn't Steve Allen have a spot like this? Why do I have to get it?
I'll tell you about them German audiences. They were the first ones that ever marched out on us. That was a little different. But 3 years later,
Pee-wee. One of the songs from my show became a big hit when that great friend singing.
That's right.
Great singing star. He introduced it at the Follies Bajer. Right. Sing it, you big French goof, you.
Mimi, you funny little goat for nothing, Mimi. Am I the guy? Mimi, you sunny little Harley over Mimi. I'm aiming high. Mimi, you got me sad and dreamy. You could free me if you'd see me, Mimi. You know I'd like to have a little sound of a Mimi by and by.
Now, there's just one thing. Yes, you fellas didn't write that song.
I know, but it's the only song I can do as the great Chevalier.
That's right. What do you consider your best show tune? Well, it's a little song called We're Putting Our Heads Together. Ah, yes? Of course. And here to sing it just the way they did in Frankel's Follies of 1948, the Yacht Basin Boys.
We're putting our heads together. Well, 11 years, and they never get past the first line. What a discouraging amendment.
This year, I understand you fellows have written your first Latin American hit. That's right. It's called I'm an American, I'm going to hit a Latin American. No, actually, that's the other title. The original title was the Van Cliburn Cha-Cha-Cha. What kind of a title is that? What kind of a hairstyle is that? What do you mean? That's the point. Well, anyway, here is our entire company to sing it for you. All ready? All right. So long for a while. That's all the songs for a while. Cha-cha-cha. Good night, wherever you are. Cha-cha-cha. 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 So long.
Tonight's program was brought to you by DuPont, makers of nylon, Orlon, and Dacron. Better living fibers that give you so much more. Steve Allen's wardrobe from Petrocelli Clothes. Keep tuned for Pete Kelly's Blues.